Alright, what's up, yins, guys? Time for another video. Damn little wind blowing my hair in my face. But anyway, yeah, time for another video. Yeah, first, it's like, damn, 85, 90 degrees, and now it's cold again. I'm like bringing out the sweater and coat. But anyway, on with the subject matter I'm going to talk about today. I mean, I talked to a lot of people about this. My partner, or I talked to her about this because we are both involved in charities and different things. And this is going to be talking about our old neighborhood. And I know some of you guys watching probably witness shit like this or deal with shit like this. And some of us, it's kind of annoying and pisses us off to no end. You got, okay, they talk about entitled people, right? There is one people out there, unfortunately, have the nothing's ever good enough. They're entitled. Say they talk about I'm all for charity, but there is people out there that you may have been in that food line temporarily and were underemployed temporarily or unemployed temporarily. There would be always those people next to you that nothing's ever good enough. I mean, what the hell do they want? Beluga caviar and filet mignon in the food box. Nothing was ever good enough. Right? But anyway, there's these people that kind of pissed me off to no end. And the building I used to live in, there was parts that was on a big porch over there that what I didn't show you, there was like, you could see down over the side. A good view down the hill of downtown, and you could see below. It was 4 stories up in some of my videos. I'm sorry, I do regret when I left there that I didn't have any video footage where I showed you guys. I'll talk about part of the pandemic. It was, of course, pandemic was over 3 years ago, but you still see people wearing masks. But anyway, there was a lot of food boxes delivered right to people's a whole apartment building on pallets. But this ain't just about the pandemic. This was going on before that pandemic, this attitude. Like when me and my partner were even first dating, like damn near a decade ago, when I used to be visiting her place before we lived together. There was always like, people used to always go down the street there to every once or twice every month to get those food boxes, which of course nothing wrong with and all that. Yeah, I do charity for the holidays every year because I enjoy it. But anyway, you get these people. If you do not want the shit, why even go in that line and take it? All right? And this video is about these people that they take it because it's like they don't want it. It's like they feel they're entitled to it. And nothing in the box. Maybe you'll take one thing or whatever. And they would put the box in the lobby of the apartment building where I started out a decade ago dating, say, my partner, and then until we lived together, until we've moved to this wonderful town we live now. But anyway, they would put the stuff in the lobby, and other people in this multi-story building would just take whatever if they want it. And there would be busybodies sitting out there, right? You know, and they're not the ones that even put it out there. But a lot of people, anyway, put it this way, there was a lot of people taking the shit and going there getting the shit. And they would go down the street, of course, go to the food lines and get the shit. Way before those years were the past couple years, instead of going in a line, I would be looking down in this multi-story building one time when the pandemic was going on before when we moved out of there. I'd be able to see down there, they were delivering it right to the door because of the pandemic, right into the building on a pallet. I watched big high pallet, and it'd be a lot of stuff there. But I don't want to jump subjects, but yeah, the only reason I'm jumping subjects is because during the pandemic, there were a lot of buildings, apartment buildings, they were actually bringing food boxes to people's doors because they didn't want anybody next to each other, even with masks. But before the pandemic, I know I'm jumping subjects, people put the damn shit in the lobby of this building, right? You'd have the busybodies thinking they're all talking about you and saying nasty things about you and accuse you of being on crack or whatever. You're stealing from some... okay, the busybodies will be all talking. Okay, they put the stuff out there, very few takers. Hardly anybody, maybe one or two. And the shit would be left there, right? And if you get one or two takers and people are leaving like maybe 10 or 20 food boxes with only one thing taken out of it in the lobby. And what would happen is the crew for the, maintenance crew for that building and other buildings down there, because it was like our housing authority. And I don't want to do a whole video on how in our area, part of Western Pennsylvania, how our housing authorities operate compared to your states. But I would welcome back and forth videos talking about this goofy rule. But anyway, yeah, for one thing, you don't got to be totally poor. You can be partially employed or even fully employed to get a place, in housing authority. You just have to pay more rent and different things like that. But anyway, I'm not going on about that. But my point is the hypocrisy going on and busybodies going on. People, it's like if they don't want it, they take it, and even though they don't want it, and they'd rather see it go in the garbage before anybody would have it. Other people put it out there hoping somebody would take it, but yet some of them will talk about people they want to pick and choose who takes it. But if nobody fucking takes it, which I said very few takers, right? The crew, the maintenance crew for buildings, they go down there. There's a trash room that's like a trash compactor, goes this way in the door, right? The shit will be set there by the crew. You'll see it there. Sometimes if you take the steps inside the elevator, you can even see down the door. The crew will take it and they'll put it right by the compactor dumpster, and it will eventually, being prepared to be chucked into the trash compactor, like how you got a trash compactor sitting outside the building and the compactor door is inside the building and a hopper. That's where it was going to fucking go. When it gets put over there, they're planning to, maybe after whatever the hell they're doing, maybe one more final chance for somebody maybe to take the shit. So what I would do, and there was a black gentleman that also did this too that I knew, and there was this other black gentleman that was like, he'd come and knock on my door and bring me some of the shit. He says, "Oh, I know you and another black gentleman, whatever, like, we do this and find people that have kids that might be able to use it." I mean, there were a few people that even I knew, and I had friends that were black that also, both black and white, for example, that there was a thing that was weird in Western Pennsylvania, that you can be underemployed, but yet make too much to even get partial food. Sometimes Western Pennsylvania was weird. Certain circumstances, they'll give you even partial food stamps. But there were people that were like working to a point where there were some people, they made just enough of hours working where they didn't even qualify for even partial food stamps. So we'd help these, because they're going to throw it in the fucking garbage. You find your friends, anybody you know who wants it. But by rights, really, the one option would be, okay, they put all that shit in a building, these people. The option could be to take it right back down to the street to the food bank and put it back on the shelves, and maybe it could be put back out there to somebody who needs it. That would be a good option too. But anyway, yeah, we had busybodies that would talk about me and some other black gentleman, a couple people that would take the stuff. It's like, and I'll be making all these bizarre stories that they go run with and say all this shit. It's like they didn't want it, and it's almost like if they didn't want it, they didn't really want anybody to have it, but they put it out there so people would take it. But yet they want to pick and choose who should have it. They didn't want anybody to have it either. Certain people maybe that they don't like that get seen taking it, then if it's people other than anybody that they like, if it's people they don't like, you know what I'm saying? That's what the neighborhood was like where me and my partner used to live. I mean, is that really right? There's people, I don't know, depending on where you are watching this, maybe some of your state governments or people put some money in there, fund some of these food banks. But for the most of the time, there's usually individuals, common Joes and Janes, that actually uh, donate money, and I don't know, some business probably donate some of that food, and there's probably money donated and buying some, however the hell that works. I mean, but anyway, yeah, there was, yeah, people were funny that way. It's kind of a damn shame. And people, yeah, I know. I always said about the radical left and the radical right. There's a part of the right that, oh yeah, every bitch, you're on fault, you can't get a job, but not all the right is like that. Some of the right is a little bit better. And matter of fact, some of them are the ones donating money to these places, right? Even though people be saying, oh, everybody just because they're right wing, they're greedy, stingy, and they want to see. There's actually better people on the right that maybe ain't like some of the asshole bosses I work next to, that part of the right. And then there's a part of the left that's really entitled, that the whole left, there's some really extreme people on the left, both black and white, think they're entitled and nothing is ever good enough, who take just because they're entitled to it, but they don't really want it. It's like, if you don't want it and it's not good enough, why take it? Oh, they'll take it because they're afraid somebody else is going to get it, but they'd rather see it thrown in the garbage than have anybody else have it. You know what I mean? Have anybody else that they don't like have it. They want somebody they like to have it, you know, pick and choose. And it's better to just not take it, you know what I mean? People get a little bit funny when you point that out, but I'm not saying everybody on the left is like that. I mean, I worked with people both kinds and jobs and different things like that that had like a better attitude. There's people that care about the poor and all that. Yeah, hell, I've been there. See how people ain't gonna try to tell me, oh, you have certain beliefs. Oh, you must be right wing. Ah, fuck you. You must be wearing a MAGA hat. Ah, fuck you. You know what I mean? Just because, even though I was there before, at one time in my life here, even collecting whatever partial, you know what I mean? Well, during the pandemic, everybody was in a world of shit. You know what I mean? We were all collecting something, but there was there is a group of, you're not allowed to talk about that's the entitled poor. You're not saying all the poor is like that. And you can get gaslighted and say, oh, you don't really care about the poor, just because you point out certain kind of people that are like entitled and lowlifes or whatever. But I will say it in this once again, the most disgusting and idiotic and stupid thing out there that annoys me to no end is people that you see take shit that they don't really want because they feel like they're entitled to it, put it out there for somebody to take it, but yet they'd rather see it go in the garbage because they want to pick and choose who will have it. Rather, if they don't want it, nobody should take it except who they pick and choose, and rather see it thrown in the garbage. And there were some of us out there that used to get criticized or gaslighted or whatever, busybodies will criticize and gaslight people because rather than see the shit go in the garbage, go and give it to people, you know what I mean? That's a lot of the shit like that goes on, you know. But yeah, we had a building manager over there that talked about that stuff. They can put a sign out there. But yeah, that goes on all the time. But people do that shit. I mean, you know anybody in buildings or any kind of circumstances or like that, hey, it wouldn't even hurt to round up the shit and send it back to the food bank so somebody else can maybe have it. Yeah, you gotta wonder how much shit that gets just thrown in the garbage that people take and they don't really want, just for the sake of taking, you know what I mean?